Next, we're going to look at the different types of objectives, and this is really what you should be measuring. Now, there are different categories of objectives specifically for SEO, and they're broken down as follows. These are not in a particular order of importance, but they do kind of flow in a logical sense. So the first thing you would want to look for is essentially keywords. Now, we use the word keywords very loosely today because SEO, you'll see as we dig in deeper into the program, is not essentially just about using keywords. Today, it's more about keyword phrases. It's more about keyword terms. It's also looking at questions. It's a whole series of things. And you'll see that we start to look at long tail, medium tail keywords as well, because SEO is so competitive that in order for us to be relevant and for us to rank, we need to use much broader terms than just a single word or two. But the point is that with keywords specifically, we want to set a very clear objective around how many keywords we're essentially wanting to ultimately rank on Google organically for. Now, when it comes to keywords, you would, and with any objective essentially, what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to take a snapshot of where the organization is right now. So if we take keywords as an example, we would say, well, how many keywords are we ranking for at the current time? So as we stand today, if we go and have a look, how many keywords are we ranking for in position 1 on Google and on page 1, page 2, and page 3? That then essentially gives us a current today view benchmark. But we also then set a benchmark for the future. So to say, well, how many after a period of time, so whether it be within 6 months or whether in a year or whether in 2 years, how many keywords ultimately do we want to be ranking for? The next benchmark or metric that we would look at would be traffic, and it results in, and that's why I say it progressively makes sense in the way that it flows logically, because essentially the more keywords you're ranking for, the more opportunity you have for people to click on those results in Google, and as a result, you should see your traffic increase. And when we talk about traffic, once again, we are talking about traffic as a result of SEO. So when we go and we look at our Google Analytics, we want to see how much traffic we're currently getting today from organic search. And then we want to set a benchmark or an objective in terms of how much traffic we ultimately want to be achieving within the same given 3, 6, 12, 18, or 24 months. Next, we look at market share. And market share is essentially saying, well, if the search terms that we've identified are generating a certain number or volume of searches per month, per quarter, per year, we want to look currently at how much of that market share or market search we're actually attracting to our website today. And then we set a benchmark to say, well, how much market share would we like to achieve in time? So that then becomes a metric that we can set, as well as look back, measure, and see how we've performed. The next one would be brand or product awareness. So when we talk about brand awareness, we spoke briefly about brand awareness in the beginning of the program, where we dived into the introduction to digital marketing. But brand awareness from an SEO perspective would be how many of the searches that are being generated in Google or be typed into Google that are coming to our website are essentially a brand search. So this is a search where someone's actually put your brand name into the query that they've put into Google. The same with a product. So if it's a particular generic product term, you can see that. Or if it's a product name that is unique to your organization, then you'll also be able to see that. And as essentially brand or product awareness searches generally don't grow on their own. Invariably, we find that is as a result of other forms of marketing. Maybe because you've done an awareness campaign through display, or you've done an above-the-line campaign through display advertising or a billboard, and those would be, as a result of that, you would find that more and more people are now aware of your brand, so they would then type that product or that brand name into Google when they're doing the search.